Algebra, the movie. Algebra, the movie. Harold and Klaba are opening a leaf and small skull store. Klaba brought 9 small skulls. And Harold brought X leaves, which dropped 15 of them. Then a crow brought 15 more. They used a cloning machine to clone it 3 times, all their leaves 3 times. If the total of their leaves is 35, what is the variable for X? I know this is really complicated, but we're gonna break this down. Let's break this down. I said we're going to break this down! Yay! I said let's break this down! I said let's break this down! Break this down! Break. Math. 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 That's what it's time for. Math. That's what it's time for. Math. It's time for some math. It's finally time to learn some math about algebra. Okay, let's start the problem. As you can see, the problem is above me. The problem is 9 plus x minus 15 plus 15 times 3 equals 35. And there's little parentheses around 15 times 3, which means you do that first. So let's start with 15 times 3. Before we do 15 times 3, I'm just going to let you know that our job is to isolate the variable, which is x. X is the variable, and our job is to isolate it, because we're trying to find out what x equals. So let's listen to a song about that. Okay, now let's get to math. Okay, so what's 15 times 3, class? You don't know? Well, I'll tell you. It's 45. It's right there. So let's look at the problem so far. Yep. Now we're going to move on to the next step. Our next step is to take the part negative 15 plus 45. Yes, it's negative, because minus still means a negative. I'm still a little confused about that too. But so let's take this problem, negative 15 plus 45. What's the answer? Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, fine. It's 30. So I'm going to take a 30. So now our problem is, what we do now is we take the x out for a little bit. No, because it doesn't matter the order of the problem. So let's move the x where the 9 should be. Okay, now everything is better. So let's do 9 plus 30, which is, of course, 39. Like I told you, our job is to isolate the variable. So let's do so. See, the golden rule of algebra is, hit it, Tony. What you do to one side, must do to the other. What you do to one side, must do to the other. What you do to one side, must do to the other. What you do to one side. So now the problem is 9 plus x, 39 plus x equals 35. Or, yeah, okay, so I said we have to isolate the variable, and I just told you the golden rule of algebra. So let's isolate the variable by getting rid of the other number. So let's minus 39. See? But the golden rule of algebra is due to the other side, so we have to minus 39 from 35. I'll let you do the math in your head for 30 seconds, or less, probably less, before I give you the answer. Okay, if you did it right, you should have gone this. Yep, x equals -4. So apparently when this clip happened, Harold brought -4 leaves and dropped 15 of them. Well, math is confusing sometimes. Well, class, I've educated you in math. What do you have to say? Okay, credits now. Credits!
It's the end of the show as we know it. It's the end of the show as we know it. It's the end of the show as we know it. And I feel smarter. And I feel smarter.